Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a somewhat quick sobriety Q&A for you guys. I asked you guys to ask me some questions that you have for me about sobriety. Nothing is off limits. I have a handful of questions here. If you have any other questions at the end of this video, please leave them down in the comments and I will absolutely do another one of these videos for you guys. I'm not gonna waste any time with the intro. Let's just get right into the question. So the first question is, why did you get sober? There are a handful of reasons why I got sober, but the one that stands out to me the most when anybody asks me this question is I was just so sick of waking up after drinking, which was every day, and feeling very anxious and embarrassed of my actions from the night before. I would have friends tell me things that I did and I didn't even remember because I was literally blacked out drunk. The amount of just anxiety and embarrassment that I had, finally I had just had enough. It had got to the point where I remember one day a friend of mine was telling me about something. I was just like, there's no way. I hate this. I'm so embarrassed. And I could feel like slight judgment coming from this person. Maybe she wasn't judging me at all. Maybe that was just my own insecurities, but I felt like just so shameful, like I was being judged. I was so embarrassed and I was sick of feeling that way. It was happening more and more frequently as time went on. I remember that time in particular, that just being my final straw. Another thing is I really wanted to step up my game as far as motherhood goes. I could feel myself slipping into really bad habits as far as like rushing through motherhood and not cherishing the really special moments with my kids, like, you know, giving them their baths at night or making really special dinners for the family. Like I was just rushing through moments to try and get to the drink. I'm grateful that I was able to recognize that and kind of put my foot down and put a stop to it. So for me, those were the two main reasons. But like I said, there were a lot of reasons. Do you have any other vices? Overall, not really. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't really have any unhealthy vices other than white monsters. That would be the one thing I would say that I kind of traded for alcohol. I have like bare minimum 1 a day, usually like 3 a day. On a crazy day, sometimes 4, but I start to really not feel good after 3 or 4. So I try to keep it to like 2 a day, which still I know is not good for me, but that would be my one vice, I would say. Biggest challenge in sobriety. I would say the biggest challenge would probably be sometimes feeling FOMO. I've gotten to the point now where I enjoy my life for what it is, and I am so grateful to be where I am in life. But every once in a while I get FOMO. I think everybody gets FOMO, but definitely just in the drinking social aspect of life. I see a lot of people that I know, you know, going out, drinking with their friends, socializing, and I miss that aspect just a little bit. But at the end of the day, I've said this a million times, the benefits of sobriety far outweigh the glimpse of FOMO that I'll get from time to time. How soon did clarity come once you got sober? As far as like the brain fog thing, now I got sober over 6 years ago, so I'm trying to remember exactly when the clarity really started to come. I want to say it took a couple weeks to a month, maybe 2 to 4 weeks, something like that, to where I really started to just feel clear-headed, like I was on cloud 9. I just felt like a new person. A lot of people will ask me that question because I know some people don't feel the clarity right away and it can be discouraging, but just, I promise you, stick with it. The clarity will come and it is the best feeling. Do you have any regrets? Honestly, I don't think so. No regrets. What advice would you give to somebody who is considering sobriety? I will be the first person to tell you to go for it. As far as advice goes, I would say if the FOMO starts to get to you or you're not feeling as clear-headed as you expected right away, find healthy hobbies and healthy habits that you can kind of fill in the empty space with. For me, it was like 3 or 4 p.m. on the dot I was drinking. So it was like when that trigger time kind of came for me, I would fill that empty space with something healthy, like going to the gym or cooking a healthy meal or going for a walk or just keeping yourself busy, especially in the beginning. That will do wonders. I can almost guarantee if you're moping around and you're sitting in your house and that triggering time comes for you and you don't have anything to do, it's gonna be 10 times harder to stay sober. That comes from experience, because there had been times where I would attempt to not drink and I'd just be sitting around my house 4 or 5 o'clock. That time would come, the alcohol's sitting there, I was gonna drink it. So I needed to replace that time, that triggering time, with something healthy. Did you ever relapse? Not since my official sobriety date, but the few months leading up to the time that I actually got sober, I did attempt to get sober a couple of times. It would usually last a day or two and I would fall right back into my habits until that embarrassing moment, that final straw happened for me and I was fed up and I had had enough, and since then I have not. Do you ever get cravings? Cravings, in a sense, like I mentioned, when I see people out drinking and socializing, I crave that, I guess. I don't exactly crave alcohol. No, I definitely don't crave alcohol anymore. That's just me personally, and I feel very grateful for that because I know a lot of people do. But no, how do you handle social situations where drinking is involved? That's gotten easier over time. I would say in the beginning, in like the first year, it was definitely hard. I didn't go out much. I didn't hang out with the same group of friends that I hung out with while I was drinking. I kind of just avoided that whole scene. But now that I feel solid in my sobriety, I can absolutely go to social settings where there is a lot of alcohol involved. I just went to a show, Canceled Podcast live tour. If you guys watched Hannah and Brooke, I just went to their tour, their live show, and if you know anything about them, it's very much surrounded by the drinking culture. Almost everybody in the room was drinking. Not everybody, but there were a few like me that weren't drinking, but a lot of them were drinking. A lot of them were drunk. I think I've gotten to the point now where it's just me. It's just who I am. I just don't drink, and I'm very confident in that. I think one thing that really helped me is you guys. I shared my story with you guys very early on in sobriety. I felt a responsibility to stay sober for my family, my kids, everybody around me, but you guys too. If you make the decision to get sober, you should share it with the people that you love, because it kind of keeps you accountable in a way. Plus, at the end of the night, when I do get home and I made the decision to not drink and I'm laying in bed and I'm completely sober and at peace and I'm able to sleep peacefully and go to bed with no regrets and no anxiety and no embarrassment, it is such an amazing feeling, and you will feel such a sense of pride. There's a huge sense of pride that comes with getting sober, whether you're an alcoholic or not. You are able to conquer something that not everybody is able to conquer. It's really difficult in the world that we live in. Like, drinking is so normalized. It's such a part of our culture as human beings that it can be difficult to give that up. So to be able to do that for yourself, you will feel such a sense of pride, and that's something that I cherish. That sense of pride does not go away. If anything, it just gets stronger with each milestone that you hit. Okay, so that's all of the questions I have for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, if you have any other questions for me, please leave them in the comments below so I can curate another sobriety Q&A for you guys. I hope that you guys are doing amazing. If you're considering sobriety, just go for it. If you mess up, that's okay. Try again. That's a part of the process, truly. You can do it. I believe in you. Stay strong. Fill your empty space with healthy habits that can distract you and keep you focused on, your bigger goals at hand. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.